Okay, what's going on, movie fans? This is Max Reviews. I'm Braided, and today we're going to be talking about the new Hawkeye episode, episode 5, Ronin. And let's just dive into the good for this episode. And to get down to it, I really love this episode. I think this was the best episode because it felt like it covered a lot of plot. It went through all the characters, and then it started unraveling the mysteries that have been going on throughout this entire show, while not 100% giving us all the explanation. So, for the good, like, we just start off with Yelena, which I think Black Widow, she was, like, one of the best characters she was the best character in Black Widow movie that came out earlier this year. She was the standout, and I was wondering how they would incorporate her into the show with the end cameo last week, but immediately we start with her, and she's doing the same thing, getting Black Widows freed, and then she does, and then she comes back, and we see it. We've seen the blip. We haven't seen people actually come back like together in Endgame, but we did see it in Far From Home. It was played more of as a joke. In WandaVision, when everybody came back, it was terrifying. Like, what is going on? In this, it was another one of those terrifying sequences when just Yelena, she's there. 5 seconds later, she comes out, and everything has changed. Everybody's older, stuff, and Black Widow's, her sister, is dead. So you understand where Yelena is coming from, and then we go over to Kate Bishop telling her mom that Hawkeye sort of he decided to abandon her, and so after that we see her go to her old house where she was picking up some stuff, it seems, and then she runs into Yelena, and Yelena, she just gives Florence Pugh, she gives such a great performance here as funny and also angry, and just still the same sort of naiveness from Black Widow, but also having this darker side to her where she's joking around, talking about seeing the Statue of Liberty in the Empire State Building, and that, oh wow, the villain, you're gonna sit down with my enemy and have this macaroni and cheese, and it smells really good. Can the anime actually cook? And she's talking like that, like really fun. And then she's like, I'm gonna kill Clint Barton. So it's just, this is a very interesting Yelena, and I'd like to see more of her. Like, after this show in Hawkeye, we don't know where she's gonna show up in the MCU. I want to just see more of her. She's a really great character for this. And so after that, we go to Hawkeye, who he's going back to the dog and all that stuff, and he has this talk with his wife, and he's like, things are going worse, I know what I gotta do, kind of a thing, after going to see Grills and getting the dog. And we also do a little bit of stuff with Maya, and we see what she's going through. And then also we have this little funny sequence where there's an arrow, these two guys in the two tracksuit mafia guys are just doing there, and then they're talking about stuff, and then an arrow comes up, one of them just screams, and then it opens up and it's a message, and he tells Maya to meet him where her father was killed. And so we end with like this great action sequence where we have Hawkeye in the Ronin suit just taking out all these guys, taking out her like right hand man, taking out the tracksuit mafia, and then finally coming to her and then taking off the mask and showing that it's him. It's just such a great sequence right there. You know that he's probably in the Ronin suit, and he is, and then he tells her that it's him and that he was tipped off by her boss, somebody from her boss. And then you started to realize, and you see that it's sort of dawning on her that it could be her right-hand man guy, and the boss guy could be behind this. And so she's like asking him, like, where were you that night when my father was killed? And he's like, I didn't get the call. What are you talking about? You sure? And so you could see he was obviously working for the boss all the time, and he is part of the reason why her father got killed. And so she just rides off on the motorcycle. And then another thing that happens is Jack. Kate tells her mom Eleanor about Jack, that he had this shady stuff going on, to look into it. And then they're taking him off, and he's like, oh, it's fine. it's probably being framed, and you could tell like Eleanor, she's sort of going evil. She's like, you shouldn't have told her that, kind of a thing, and just all this that's going on. And then after we get this scene with them talking, we have Hawkeye and Kate just sort of getting together again, talking, and then we go to Eleanor. She's going around to this hotel, which I looked it up, kind of a thing, and it's the same hotel that was in Daredevil season 3 where Kingpin bought, and where he was sort of like under house arrest or something in Daredevil season 3, and that's where he had all his stuff. And then we see Yelena trailing Eleanor, and she's sort of, disguised kind of a thing a bit, and then she's following her, and then we cut to Hawkeye, Kate, Lucky, and this guy Grills, the firefighter, all in Grills' apartment, and Yelena sends Kate this text, and she's like, "This is who your mom was working for." She says that she figured out who had hired her to kill Hawkeye, and that she thought that Kate deserved to know. And then it just ends on the perfect note where we have this picture of, and you hear it, she's like, "This is who hired her," and she's talking to this person, and then they have it, and then he's like, "Yeah, this is the guy I'm worrying about," and it shows it, and he says the Kingpin, and I'm looking at the picture right now, and it looks like it might be the Kingpin from Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio, and it looks like it might be him. Kevin Feige had said earlier this week that Charlie Cox would be playing Daredevil if we ever saw him again, and it does look like Eleanor and Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio from Daredevil, are talking, and that's what I wanted this to end with. You can't 100% tell if it's him. I think it's him, but that's what I wanted this episode to end on. I think this is like the best episode that has happened so far, and it's one of the shorter ones, but it covers a lot of ground, and it also expands on the characters and everything, where like last episode we had some interesting stuff, but it was basically just Hawkeye and Kate hanging out doing Christmas stuff, and then we had the final fight with the big reveal with Yelena and Maya. This one we were exploring everything: Jack, Eleanor, Kate, Clint, and the Tracksuit Mafia, Kingpin, Yelena. We were exploring everything, and so we still don't have 100% clear thing, like what's 100% going on, but we know Kingpin's evil, Eleanor's evil, Jack's probably evil, and then Yelena and Maya are just going down wrong paths. And so this show right now at this point, unless the final episode really wins me over, this might be the worst Disney Plus show. I'm gonna rank them all after this one comes out, and well, actually it'll probably be a ranking for every show that I saw 2021, but after this show comes out, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be seeing Spider-Man No Way Home hopefully on Saturday. So you're going to be getting a lot of Spider-Man content this week and next week. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Max Reviews. Like this video. And comment down below your thoughts on the episode. Because I don't know how everybody's going to feel about Kingpin coming in. And this is huge for me. What does it mean to you? Braden out.